Welcome to this explainer, everyone. Today we're staging an intervention, and honestly, it's a much-needed one. So who's this for? Well, if you're a developer out there still writing your Android apps or back-end services entirely in Java, yeah, we need to talk. We're looking right at you. If you're holding on to those older habits while modern, incredibly efficient alternatives are just sitting there waiting for you, it's time to have a serious sit-down. We're going to dive into the hard data and look at the actual code to show you exactly why it's finally time to leave all that exhausting Java boilerplate in the rearview mirror.
Okay, so here's our intervention plan to rescue your code base. We're going to cover the Kotlin intervention, escaping that Java boilerplate, confronting the billion-dollar mistake, and finally, seamless Java interoperability.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the Kotlin intervention, a tale of two vehicles.
To really get started, we have to honestly confront the reality of holding on to classic tools when modern alternatives are literally right there. Think about Java. It's an absolute classic, right? It's like that trusty 1998 Honda Civic with 300,000 miles on the dash. Sure, the bumper is basically held together by zip ties at this point, and yeah, you might need a 10-page manual just to figure out how to start the engine, but it runs. It always runs. But then you look over at Kotlin. Kotlin is that brand new, top-of-the-line electric car that actually predicts when you're about to back into a trash can. It's wild. It basically boils down to this. Java is a reliable but kind of duct-taped legacy habit, while Kotlin is a smart, preventative machine built for the modern road.
Moving right along to Section 2, Escaping Java Boilerplate, the User Object Dilemma.
So, here is our first major grievance. Picture an everyday scenario. You just want to create a simple user object to hold a name and an email. That's it. But in Java, oh why? What's required? Well, first, you've got to declare your variables. Then write the constructor. Then the getters. Then the setters. And guess what? You're still not done. You need the toString method, the equals method, and finally the hashcode method. I mean, seriously, if you just want to hold two simple pieces of text, you have to type out this exhausting, repetitive list that will literally put you to sleep at your keyboard.
And the really crucial point here is that all of those manual steps in Java, they add up to roughly 50 lines of code. 50 lines, just to accomplish a completely basic everyday task like holding a name and an email address. That right there is exactly what we mean when we say Java absolutely loves boilerplate code. It's just way too much.
Now watch how Kotlin completely flips the script. Just take a look at this. Data class user, val name, string, val email, string. That's it. That is the entire thing. This single line of Kotlin uses a special data class designation to automatically build the getters, the setters, the toString method, the whole shebang. It does absolutely everything else right behind the scenes for you.
Boom, one line, done. By making the switch to Kotlin, you condense 50 lines of tedious, finger-cramping Java into just one single, elegant line of code. Just think about how much cleaner your files are going to look. And the time you save on this one feature alone is a real game changer. Kotlin fundamentally hates boilerplate code, and it does everything in its power to just get it out of your way so you can do your job.
All right, Section 3, the billion-dollar mistake, confronting the crashes.
Okay, so while saving keystrokes is definitely nice, our intervention really needs to address an even bigger fear, and that is safety. I really only have to whisper 3 words to strike absolute terror into the heart of any Java developer: null pointer exception. It is a terrifying scenario where a Java program accidentally encounters a null variable and tries to use it. The result? Kaboom! Your entire application instantly crashes. Across the industry, this is dramatically known as the billion-dollar mistake. It's this deeply ingrained flaw in older languages that can completely crash your whole system and totally ruin your day.
But honestly, this is exactly where Kotlin shines. It protects you from this billion-dollar mistake by acting kind of like a strict parent. It simply won't let the code compile if there's even a slight chance that something could be null, unless you explicitly say it's okay. It basically forces you to address the risk up front, way before the application ever actually runs.
This null showdown really highlights the absurdity of writing endless manual checks in Java. I mean, the Java approach, you check everything manually with these super verbose blocks of code, or you just cross your fingers and pray it doesn't crash in production. You're literally forced to write if user is not equal to null every single time you want to do something safely. But with Kotlin, null safety is built right into the type system itself. It handles it safely in one go. You literally just write print line, user, question mark, dot name. So simple.
And that little question mark you just heard about, that is where the magic happens. It's called the safe call operator. It intelligently checks if the value is null, and if it is, it simply skips the action instead of violently crashing your whole system. No way, right? It saves you from writing those endless if not null blocks. It makes your code not only infinitely safer, but so much easier to read.
Okay, let's look at Section 4, Seamless Java Interoperability, Planning the Transition.
Now at this point, you might be weeping tears of joy over that null safety, but you might also be panicking a little bit thinking, wait, do I have to throw all my old Java code away? Well, rest assured, you don't have to throw anything away. Zero, because Kotlin features 100% interoperability with Java, absolutely seamless.
It's actually beautiful how this works. Your legacy Java code remains exactly as it is, completely untouched inside your current files. You don't have to rewrite a single line of your old stuff. And on the flip side, your new Kotlin code is added seamlessly into the exact same project. The Kotlin files and the Java files will literally talk to each other like old best friends. You get to keep your older code completely intact while writing all of your brand new features in Kotlin, right there next to it. I absolutely love this quote because it's arguably the most accurate description of the language you'll ever hear. It says, Kotlin is basically Java, but someone went through it with a giant eraser and rubbed out all the annoying repetitive bits. Right? It just perfectly encapsulates what Kotlin is. It's this modern, powerful tool that removes the friction of your daily development, but without forcing you to abandon your foundational ecosystem.
So, to wrap up today's explainer, making the switch to Kotlin just provides an overwhelming number of benefits. It guarantees your code is going to be concise by drastically reducing that nasty boilerplate. It ensures your apps are mathematically safe by stopping null pointer exceptions right at the compiler level. Plus, it offers 100% seamless interoperability with all your legacy Java files. But honestly, most importantly, it respects your time as a developer.
I highly encourage you to go ahead, download the Kotlin plugin today, and just give it a try in your existing projects. But as we officially end this intervention, I want to leave you with one provocative question to chew on. If your code is incredibly clean and you actually finish your work on time without hunting down random crashes, what are you going to do with all that free time? I mean, maybe use it to drink a little more coffee? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, everybody. I'll see you next time. Now go delete some boilerplate code.